Glad you're with us here on NFL Live. Breaking news today related to Jalen Hurts. For that, we go right back out to Adam Schefter, who's at Lambeau for Monday Night Football. What do we know, Adam?
Oh, Laura, he suffered a sprained shoulder on Sunday against the Bears. He got driven into the ground late in the third quarter by Travis Gibson. Came up, stayed down. You could see came up and was hobbled. Now his status is at best uncertain for Saturday against the Dallas Cowboys. If he can't start, and you'd have to figure in the Eagles' position, they're going to tread very carefully and lightly. Gardner Minshew would start Saturday against the Dallas Cowboys. But clearly there's a question about whether that quarterback on that ground right there will be able to bounce back in time to play Saturday night. And with the position the Eagles are in, they have the cushion built up to be able to rest him and not have to win this week and rush him back. They only have to win one more game to get that #1 seed.
Obviously, the right shoulder, Dan, his throwing shoulder. They have put themselves, the Eagles have, in good position, to Adam's point, to make sure that Jalen is as healthy as possible when they need him. But a quarterback dealing with a shoulder injury, that's no small thing.
Yeah, I think this is huge news. And hopefully for Jalen, this isn't something that is long-term. But here's the reality. You are 3 weeks left in the regular season. So not only are you thinking still securing home field advantage, but the #1 seed in that bye becomes enormous right now. The second thing is this. I'm not solely focused on Jalen Hurts the throwing. I'm focused on Jalen Hurts as a runner as well. His shoulder being hurt is going to impact every single carry that he takes for the remainder of the season. Every single moment where that coaching staff goes, do we want to call this run right here? Like, do we want to expose it to another shot? I think this is enormous news, and there are going to be so many kind of decisions that get impacted by this. I hope it's not as big a deal as my gut feeling makes it out to be.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Dan. Like the Eagles offense, what's made them so devastating is that they can beat you so many different kinds of ways. And if they're not as dynamic on the ground, and if he is not the runner he has been, they're just not going to be, even if they have a good run game, completely changes the way defenses can play them. I'll say this, ahead of this game, the Cowboys game with Minshew, well, it'll certainly put Micah Parsons' comments about the system to the test. I do think there is a formula for the Eagles to make this competitive, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier about the Jaguars, running the ball horizontally, stretching them out, RPO, screens, play action. Minshew can execute all those things. It will not be close to what is possible with Jalen Hurts, but that doesn't mean this game is out of reach for them.
Yeah, it's fascinating, as Mina's pointing out, to turn your attention to the game that we'll see on Saturday against the Cowboys. Gardner Minshew, I mean, let's live in a world where he's playing at this point. We'll find out if Jalen Hurts finds a way to gut it out. That doesn't feel super smart for the Eagles going down the road. What do you think about that matchup for the Cowboys, and then potentially what it does for them coming off the loss to the Jaguars when they're trying to fight for playoff
I'll
position?
probably still take the Philadelphia Eagles. Listen, they are not going to blink. The Philadelphia Eagles won't blink. And this is a part of why I thought that this team will win the NFC East and be the representative in the Super Bowl, as we've seen this season come to whole. Remember, this offensive line is still the best in the game. You talk about skill position players. We've seen Gardner Minshew play really good football. But everybody focuses on this offense, and rightfully so, because we're having a conversation about Jalen Hurts. In the last 3 weeks, I think the Philadelphia Eagles has like 15 to 17 sacks in the game.
Their defense has been unbelievable.
And we see what Dallas is giving up pressure-wise in the passing game. Now, here's the concern for me when it comes to Jalen as far as bigger picture. He wouldn't play a down until we got to the playoffs.
But fella, I'm with you. I don't even care about it when it comes to this game, because the Cowboys game, because they lost yesterday, this weekend's game against the Eagles.
But you're thinking about the positioning in the playoffs, the first round bye, all of that.
I think that's
you care about that, right?
I care about it. I care about it. And obviously, it's a reason why you play for that. This team will travel, though. Like, I don't know,
fella. Like, this team going out to San Francisco with the quarterback that's got a bum shoulder?
Listen, San Francisco gonna be a tough out for anybody, right?
That's fair.
But when I think about the Philadelphia Eagles, and I told y'all I got excited about seeing both of these teams match up, and obviously that was with Jalen Hurts. If you're in the playoffs, and to your point, Dio, whether you got to go to San Fran or whether they coming to you, Jalen Hurts is probably going to be the difference in that game. Right. Not a 80% Jalen Hurts, not a Jalen Hurts where you're concerned about if we're going to call a run play. Right. You know you're going to need his legs, whether you play in San Francisco at home or whether you're playing him on the road. So I would not fool with Jalen Hurts until this thing was as right as it could be when we get ready for the tournament.
Just real quick, too, Dan, about the bye. I mean, they got 2 games on the Vikings, who they beat, as you remember. So they do have a little bit of cushion here with the injury. It's not like he can't afford to miss more than 1 game. They can still hold on to the #1 seed.
We should throw up let's throw their schedule up one more time just to see if we can pull that up for the Eagles. For their we've got obviously the Cowboys on Saturday, then the Saints. Right. That's going to be at home, and then the Giants. So
the Vikings are what, 11-3?
Yes.
And then San Francisco and Dallas are both 10-4. 10-4. So as long as all 3 of those teams each lose at least once, they will secure the 1 seed. I would agree with Marcus then. If those 3 teams each lose one of the next 3 weeks, he wouldn't play it down in the regular season for me.
And I think they could get 2 of those, if not all 3, without him. I really do.
And listen, this team is on a Super Bowl run right now, but I do think that in the NFL, we stay a little bit future-minded, right? Like you're thinking to yourself, this guy has proven, I think we all agree, that he is the quarterback of the future. Let's not put him in a position to potentially do some sort of long-term
Just think about
damage.
this.
There's the playoff standings in the NFC. Go ahead, Dan.
And think about this, guys, too. 5 years ago, the 2017 Philadelphia Eagles, who were runaway MVP, Jalen's MVP candidate right now, and the 1 seed, lose Carson Wentz sometime in December. Now they go on to win the Super Bowl, but I think of it this way, and I'm just one, and Mina, you would agree with me on this, I would imagine. The greatest jump for this offense has been the ability to throw the ball down the field accurately. What impact is that going to have on this? I don't care about it this weekend. I'm talking in the middle of January or the 3rd week of January. And I'll go back to this. Every single moment for the rest of this season, regular and postseason, when they go, do we want to dial up the quarterback run? You're going to hesitate going, gosh, we're 1 shot away.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.